Hello beautiful people, my name is Diana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I thought it would be fun to just kind of have a chill video. We can talk. I want to answer some of your guys' bookish questions and just questions in general, and kind of tell you guys what I've been reading and some of my future plans for this channel. So I thought we could just have a nice chill video. I am leaving for vacation on Monday, so sadly I will not be posting next week. Just wanted to let you guys know. But once I get home, I'm planning to get right back onto that schedule. I have a lot of videos filmed, just none of them are done being edited. So I will not have time to get it edited by next Friday because I'm not going to be here. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, but I do have a book haul in the future. I have a 24-hour readathon planned. I have my June reading vlog, which is working on getting filmed, which I'm loving the books I'm reading so far this month. So I thought I would kind of do my makeup and get ready for the day because I have a lot to get done today. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just have a chill video with you guys. I can do my makeup, talk to you guys, and please don't judge the makeup routine. I'm by no way a professional, so this is just like my everyday makeup. But yeah, so I wanted to first talk to you guys about what I'm currently reading. So if you didn't know, I started the Twisted series this month and I am already on Twisted Hate. I just started it last night, so I'm only like 10% in, but so far I'm really enjoying the Twisted series. The first book was by no means my favorite. I did not like Twisted Love too much. You will see that in the reading vlog. I do a reading vlog on it. I did not hate it, but there's just certain things throughout the book that made me not love it. And then I finished Twisted Games and I really liked that one. I felt like it was so different because we don't get a lot of like bodyguard romances, at least not that I've read. Maybe there is a lot out there, but for me that was my first time reading a bodyguard romance. So it was completely new to me and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute and I love the whole she's a princess. I'm named after Princess Diana, so I always feel like I enjoy reading about royalty and stuff like that because my family loved Princess Diana, and unfortunately she passed away before I was, I think, maybe 2. So it was really sad because I never really got to see her alive. I watch clips all the time of when she was young and she seemed like an amazing person, but yeah. Anyway, I got really off topic there. So yeah, I started Twisted Hate last night. I'm really curious to see how I'm gonna like it because I know this one is not very liked. I see a lot of mixed feelings on it. I know a lot of people don't like Josh's character, so I'm very curious to keep reading and find out why, because so far I really like it. But like I said, I'm only 10% in, so a lot can happen. So that's my reading update on the Twisted series. And then I am still making my way through the Crave series, which if you guys watched my May reading wrap up, you guys saw that. And now I am on book 4. I have 2 left after this one, and it is a long one. I think maybe 70-ish% through, which is good because I'm trying to finish this one before I go on vacation because I'm planning to read Wayward in the car, and I think that would be a good audiobook, and I'm gonna be reading vlogging that one because that is one that you guys picked for my, or that's one that I picked for my June TBR jar, was Wayward. So I'm really curious how I'm gonna think about that one because I've not heard too much about it. I don't know too much about it. So I'm very curious to see what I'm going to think about that one. I'm going to be starting Happy Place 2 on vacation. I want to try to finish Twisted Hate before I leave. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I want to read and fully annotate Happy Place while I'm on vacation because I've been looking forward to reading that one forever because I know it's a lot of people's favorite. So I'm very excited for that one. Alright, I'm just gonna finish up my eye makeup really quick, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys and answer some of your bookish questions that you left on my Instagram page. That is what I do every day. It's nothing crazy, but it gets the job done. So, alright, now let's talk some bookish questions. Okay, so the first question asked by Saya Current Reads is books you'd recommend for someone in a slump. This one is a tough one because I think really it depends on like the person. Like me personally, when I do not feel like reading, I automatically go for the fantasy genre because I feel like fantasy books I never get bored of. I love the whole fantasy vibe, I love the whole high stakes, and I just feel like that is one thing that really sucks me in. But in general, I would recommend rereading one of your favorite books. I feel like that is something that a lot of people say they do when they get in a slump, and it helps. Books that I would recommend is anything Sarah J Maas. I love her books. I feel like those worlds just suck you in and really get you out of a slump, because once you read the first book, you're going to want to keep going in that series. And I feel like that's the perfect way to get out of a slump, because then you're going to want to keep reading her series. Other than that, I would recommend Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That's a little bit newer of a fantasy. I loved that book. The second one comes out, I think July 1st, or sometime in July, and I cannot wait. As far as like romance books go, I would recommend anything by Lynn Painter. Better Than the Movies is amazing. The Do-Over, Betting on You, those are all some of my favorite ones, and I feel like her writing is just so fun. I love her writing, and it's so funny, it makes me laugh, and I would definitely recommend her books to get out of a reading slump. I would also recommend the Heartstopper series by, I think Alice Osman is her name. I recently read those, and they are graphic novels, and I flew through them. Like, I read like the first book in maybe like an hour and a half. So I would recommend those in a reading slump because those are super easy to like read through, and you're gonna feel like you're reading a lot because they're graphic novels. So I would totally recommend those. I think those are a great way to get out of a reading slump. I think honestly any of those options would be great to get you out of a reading slump because it really depends on your preference. If you're not a fantasy girly, then I would recommend Lynn Painter. I would recommend the Heartstopper series. And then if you do like fantasy, I would recommend anything Sarah J Maas because her books just suck you in, or Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That's another really good option. So those are all some great options to get you out of a reading slump. Alright, next question was asked by author Bridget VDE, and that is your favorite indie books you've read this year. That is tough because last year I was reading so many indie authors, and this year it's been a little bit slower just because I've been trying to finish books that are on my shelves, so I haven't signed up for too many ARCs and stuff like that. But I would say for sure it's gotta be Catching Feelings by Maren Moore. I'll put a picture over here. I loved that book. I love that entire series. And the third one comes out, I think in July now. It got moved, but I love her writing so much. I loved that book so much. It was so fun, and I cannot wait for the third one. So that is definitely up there for one of my favorite indie authors that I've read this year. Other than that, I read Love Lessons by Katie Kate Wood. That is the second book. The first one is called, I think, Lessons Learned. I'll put a picture of both of them here. And I loved that one. It's like a teacher romance. It's just such a fun vibe to it, and her writing is just super fun, and I really enjoy her books. They're really just cute romances, and I love that. Alright, the next question was asked by All About Books with Lex, and she asked me, what is my all-time favorite TV show? This is really hard because I have like 3 TV shows that are just like my comfort shows that I rewatch, and I don't think I can choose between them. So the 3 shows that I rewatch a lot is Gossip Girl. I love Gossip Girl. I'm a big Chuck girly. I don't care what anyone says. I love that man. And I love that show. I feel like that is a show you can just like relax in bed. It's nothing too crazy going on. And I love the characters. I love that show. And then the second one is Pretty Little Liars. I've watched that show I think 4 times all the way through, which is crazy. And again, I love the characters. I love the show. The ending got a little weird. I didn't really like the ending, but it's just one of those shows where you just can't stop watching it. And then the third would be Vampire Diaries because of course my baby Damon is in that show and I love that show. Don't hate me, but I don't think I have ever completely finished it because I always restart it and watch like the first 5 seasons and then I like get distracted and start something else. So I really need to watch it all the way through. Right now I'm watching Outer Banks with my mom and my sister because they've never seen it, and I'm pretty sure season 4 is coming out soon, so we want to rewatch it and get ready for the next season. I also love that show. JJ has my heart. I don't care. I know everyone likes John B. I'm a JJ girl. I love that man so much. So yeah, that's kind of my answer to my favorite TV show. I can't pick between those 3. They will always be my favorite. Alright, Delaney Harrington asked me, what is your top 5 reads so far from this year? That is a very hard one because I have read a lot of good books. I was just going through my Goodreads to see the books that I read this year. So I think my 5th favorite book this year would have to be Daisy Jones and the Six. That one was a huge surprise to me and I still think about it a lot and I want to reread that one. And then probably number 4 would be Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I loved that book. I just read it last month and I cannot stop thinking about it. It was so good and I already want to reread it. It was just such a surprise to me and I loved it. And then number 3 is 10,000 Doors of January. I can't shut up about this book. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did and it just blew me away. I love the story. I love the characters. It just has such a special place in my heart and the writing was so beautiful. The writing in 10,000 Doors of January and Tomorrow were both so amazing, and I really think that's partly why the books resonated with me so much, is because the writing was just breathtaking and I love poetic writing. Then number 2 is probably gonna be Crescent City 3, House of Flame and Shadow. I really enjoyed this book. I know it wasn't everyone's favorite. It was my favorite of the series. I read all 3 this year, pretty much back to back. And I really liked the 3rd one. I know it was not everyone's favorite, but I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for her next book. And then my number 1 favorite book of this year so far is 100% Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I finished the whole rest of the Throne of Glass series last year, and Kingdom of Ash was the last one I had to read coming into this year, and it has my entire heart. It will probably be my favorite book of the whole year. I don't see anything passing it up, but that's a really good question. I liked that one. Alright, Hal Jones asked, favorite low-key book series, like one that's not talked about enough for how good it is. That is a tough question because I have read a lot of very popular book series. Alright, I would definitely have to say the Players series by Monica Murphy. I read these last year. I zoomed through all 3 of them and no one is ever talking about them. I loved it. I loved her writing. They were so fun and the tension in these books is insane, especially in the first one because she's his tutor and she's kind of nerdy and he's like this jock star football player. I ate it up. I read these around football season last year and it was just the perfect vibe. I will never forget it. Loved the series. Not a lot of people talk about it, so this is your sign if you love a good football romance. The Players series by Monica Murphy hopefully will not disappoint because I loved it. I also feel like Maren Moore's books are not talked about enough. This is her Home Run Proposal and Catching Feelings series. Like I talked about earlier in this video, the 3rd one is coming out soon. I love her writing. She writes really good romance, she writes really good spice, she writes really good banter. Everything she writes, I just eat up, and not a lot of people talk about these as well, so I would say those 2 are some romance series that need to be talked about more, especially because I see a lot more about Marin Moore. I don't see a lot about that series by Monica Murphy, so we gotta get on it. It's a really good series, and I really loved it. Alright, Max Bookshelf asked, what book got me into reading? And that is a very easy question for me because I was not a big reader at all, and then I kept getting like Bookstagram reels on my phone and I kept watching them even though I was not a big reader. And like for probably like 4 months I was watching these reels and I was trying to like know the books that people were talking about, and I was like, you know what, why am I not reading? And at that point, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was super popular, and I ordered it for myself on Amazon, and I listened to the audiobook while I worked, and I fell in love with it. So that book definitely got me into reading. It was the first book I read 2 years ago after not reading for like probably like 8 years, which is crazy. So yeah, I love that book. It will always have a very special place in my heart because it started my book journey and my love of reading, and yeah, I definitely want to reread that one soon because it was the book that started everything. And then Max Bookshelf also asked, if you could only read 3 books for the rest of your life, pick which ones? Oh my god, that is a very hard question. Like, do series count? Can I pick an entire series? She only said 3 books, so I don't think series are gonna count for that, but I think it would have to be Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas, the last book in the Throne of Glass series, because I love that series, and if I could only pick one book to read, it would have to be that one because it wraps everything up and I loved the ending. So that would be one, and then probably Court of Silver Flames, also by Sarah J Maas, because I love Nesta's story. I just resonated with it so much. I'm a Nesta girl. I love Nesta and Cassian, and I cannot wait to reread that one soon. So that would have to be the second one. For the third book, oh my gosh, this is really hard. I think for the third book, I would honestly pick 10,000 Doors of January because I loved that book so much and the writing was so beautiful, and I could find myself just rereading that one over and over again just for the writing and the quotes and the chills it gave me. So I think those are my 3 books: Kingdom of Ash, A Court of Silver Flames, and 10,000 Doors of January. Alright, and then Currently Overbook asked, what is my bookish red flag? This is a fun question because I have quite a few, but I really think my biggest bookish red flag, which I was talking about a little bit in my reading vlog I was filming, is when there is a spice scene in the last chapter of a book or the epilogue. I don't know why, I hate that. I feel like I want a book to end with like something cuter than spice. I don't know, when I'm reading a romance book, I get it. I get that there's gonna be spice in it. I have no problem with spice. But when a book ends with spice, I feel like that's what I'm gonna be remembering from that book, and that's not what I want to be remembering. And that's just something where like when an epilogue is just a spice scene, I'm like, what was the point of that? We already had spice throughout the book. We don't need another spicy scene to end the book. I would love something more meaningful to end the book, and that's definitely just a me problem. I don't like spice at the end of a book. If anyone's the same, let me know. Comment down below and tell me, because I'm fine with it throughout the book. I love some spice in books, but if a book is ending with spice, it leaves like a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. That's just a me thing, I guess. But other than that, stickers on the covers, no. Can we make them removable, please? That's annoying, but at least I can remove them. If there is a permanent sticker on the book, ew. Also, another bookish red flag is when there's like a little like flap, like the cover ends and then there's like that random little flap there. Why do we do that? That looks so stupid. Yeah, I think that's it. That's my ranting on bookish red flags. Yeah, that's all the questions, and I hope today's video wasn't too boring for you guys. I just wanted to do something quick and easy and chill and just kind of spend the morning with you guys. Like I said, I will not be posting next week. I'm sorry about that. I was planning to film a book haul before I left, but the books are not here yet, and I don't think they will be in time for me to edit and have the video ready for next week. Thank you guys so much for the support on this channel. We are finally a monetized channel, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support you've shown me and all the love and comments and likes that you guys put on my videos. And yeah, I will be back next Friday with another video. Bye!